Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. You're here with Randall Lefevre, otherwise known as DraxxKraven. When we were talking to Dr. Mobius, he's nothing at all as he seemed. I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Or maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I could probably fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
You don't seem so aggressive. Why do you broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I said that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
I suppose. I was curious about some things. Can you tell me about the Robo-Scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
Okay. Number one, I really find it quite adorable how Mobius confuses words with other words that sound the same, like raisins, dessert, and mustard and custard, concerning the color, I suppose. Also, just sounds like so you built the Robo-Scorpions to issue threats.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, con-science? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the raisins better than I do.
You have been conversing with it for a few days, I suppose. Everything you've told me doesn't add up. Your plan, even your name.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
You reprogrammed their names as part of a recursion loop? To trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
God damn it. Just because they don't remember doesn't make what you did right. That being said, it probably was the right thing to do. A recursion loop is designed to prevent the flow of information, so...
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Klein, Mobius, 0's a circle, 8's an infinity symbol. They're all loops.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time, and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quiet professional.
Minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is Ouroboros, not Ouroboros.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
Of course not. If you lobotomize the think tank, then why do you terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
A terrifying proposition. There were other visitors, though. Why am I different?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
The only wrinkle is the one bullet that made going. The only wrinkle is the one that bullet made going into my brain pan. Oh. Oh.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats in just you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodock in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. And the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it.
Well, that's
And
bad.
once they're off the reservation...
Well, that's very bad. Okay. Klein said they had the idea to get 3 technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth.
Sorry, Doctor.
My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
Or one of theirs. So, was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them.
Sorry.
You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
You flatter me. Okay. So the think tank downloaded the schematics. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate.
Well, fuck.
Oh well, at least I tried.
Nice work. So the purpose...
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
And when we got to the Emerald City and we met the Wizard of Oz, we realized he was nothing like he had claimed to be. Never mind the man behind the curtain. I gotta go, Mobius. I gotta go talk to my brain. Thanks.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
What a strange, strange man. Brain in a jar. You know what I mean.
I'm imagining all sorts of imaginary numbers right now.
That's our brain. We'll go talk to him in a second. He's a whole can of worms. What's with all the magnum bullets? Oh, it's for the K9000 gun. Silly me. Oh, where is it? There's... Ooh. It's one of the simply and most enjoyable things that I found in this entire game is just letting Mobius do his thing and listen to all the silly things he says. Here we are! Mentats Motherload! Brr 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 brr!
If you want to be sneaky, turn off your Pip-Boy light.
Thank you, my dear. Ah! I was just looking for the Mentats motherlode. That's what this was all for. A bunch of discarded desks. Ooh, scientist scrubs. Ah! Oh boy. Well, don't you just have a flair for the dramatic?
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been? Crawling through bits of radioactive muck again?
Only a little. You're my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
This is weird. You are sending signals to the Tesla coils in my skull to generate the functions that are causing this conversation to take place. There's no need to be sarcastic. Meeting your brain's a slightly odd event.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
I was busy! Hygiene's a top priority.
Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing.
Listen, you're my brain. You should be more respectful. Nah, why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, a, quote, dick, unquote, as if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Probably not. Oh, come on, that stuff is fun. I didn't realize it caused you so much distress.
Well, maybe next time you hear me telling you that charging a knifekin with a penknife is a bad idea, you'll listen.
No promises. Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to go back in my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
Fair enough. Too bad. I've got arms. You don't. You're coming with me. What about all the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek? The smell of food? Love? Or lust, as my situation has been.
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way that you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think that we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated. I mean, you are a brain in a jar, and I have arms.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
Now that it's no longer autonomic and is actually being held up. How the hell did Mobius get a hold of you?
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
How did he manage that?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
Got it. Seems like a pretty unlikely coincidence.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it.
Alright, well that answers that. On to something else. So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild, wacky adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem.
Namely?
Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Then we'll make them share. Come on, Brain. It's stomping time.
Oh, lovely. We've reached the mindless violence portion of the program. Tell me, what exactly are you, and I use the word loosely, planning?
I'm gonna give them the demonstration of physics behind small, fast-moving chunks of lead. Let's just say violence is the last resort of the civilized man. No. Let's think bombs. Yeah, maybe bombs. I'd surprise them with like a club or something. I'm gonna show them what's really the brightest thing in the room.
Oh, energy weapons, yes. I'd almost forgotten how much fun those are. How do we proceed then?
If the think tank won't hold up their end of the bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Neutrons attached to the neutron.
All right.
Neutrons attached to the meson.
That'll do for this episode of Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. Next time, we're going to go to the Sync and handle this once and for all. Something like that. Good night, everyone.